Good Tuesday morning, everyone. Welcome to episode 24 of the Inside Drive podcast. We've got two guests in studio with us today. We've got Mary Godden and Brandy Cox. They're going to be talking about a big veterans event they got coming up at the end of this week. Excited to hear about what they all got going on. There's some golf tournaments, and then there's this golf tournament. The prizes are unbelievable. Still some spots available, but I'll let the ladies tell you all about that. Before we dive into our sponsors, I do want to give a huge shout out to all the veterans, past and present. Thank you for your sacrifices that you made so we can sit here and talk about fun events and sports. So without you guys and gals being out there, defending our country, we wouldn't be where we are today. So we did post earlier about that. If anybody wants to give a shout out to a special veteran in their life, feel free to do that in the comments. You can post a picture, just give a note. I wanted to give a huge thank you to my dad who served in the Navy. He was also in the Vietnam War. My grandfather also served in World War II, so I want to give them a big special shout out and a thank you for being veterans. And of course, we've got a pretty fun thing coming up at the end of this week. The Navy base is christening the new LCS Pierre. I believe it's open to the public. You can still go to their website and request some tickets. So again, a lot of fun veterans stuff. I know we had the Warrior Beach Retreat Parade last week. Obviously, Veterans Day is today. We'll talk about the event here in just a second. But I got to talk about my wonderful sponsors first. As y'all know, because every episode you tune into, you hear me talk about them. First one is Golf Plus. Alan Watson over there. A lot of renovations to his shop. But any golfers who want to improve their score, Golf Plus is the place to be in Bay County. I think it's the only place to be in Bay County as well, with the tools and expertise to help you. Golf Plus has been featured in Golf and Golf Digest magazine as one of the top club fitters in the country, and they certainly deserve it. Their fitting studio will blow you away with the selection of brands and models of clubs and shafts. The putting green is filled to the brim with the latest and greatest brands you could possibly want. Their repair shop is second to none. Tour van quality repairs every time and super fast. Golf Plus is your fitting studio and repair shop on the beach. They are located in the Edgewater Shopping Plaza right next to Firefly. You can give them a call at 850-249-2726 or online at golfplusretail.com. And of course, my favorite credit union in the Panhandle, that is Panhandle Credit Union. Their quality relationships they have with our community is what Panhandle Credit Union is all about. Whether it is sponsoring an event, donating to a cause, providing loan options, or setting people up with great banking products, Panhandle Credit Union is here to serve those who live, work, worship, or attend school right here in Bay and other surrounding counties. Together, Panhandle Credit Union builds community. Visit panhandlecu.org or swing by any location to join. And then, of course, American Charlie's is your favorite restaurant, conveniently also located in the Edgewater Shopping Plaza right next to Firefly and Rocket Lanes. They've got great daily specials, 15 TVs for all your college and NFL games, military and first responder discounts. I know they're doing a big thing today for Veterans Day, so check out their Facebook page or just head on over. They've got fried chicken, pot roast, wings, burgers, shrimp, all those classic American dishes. You can visit them at AmericanCharlies.com or, like I just said, head over to their Facebook page. It's got all their daily specials, all their live music, everything that they've got going on. The reason I mentioned American Charlies is because they are also our sponsor of our Athlete of the Week. This week, we've got a very special Athlete of the Week. The reason why I say special is because she was on the University Academy middle school soccer team last year, the year before that, and in sixth grade, and now she's moved on to Mosley High School as a freshman. She is our American Charlie's Athlete of the Week for last week. She's going to win it. She won a $50 American Charlie's gift card. That is Ziana Bell. She's a freshman forward at Mosley High School. She scored 5 goals last week in 2 games. Remember that name because she's going to be something special as she continues to progress in her soccer career. But congratulations to Ziana. That's someone you want to go out there and see. Like I said, I'm the assistant coach for the UA girls soccer team, and I got to watch her up close and in person last year, and just what she did on the field was absolutely unbelievable. Speaking of girls soccer, I do want to update some of the scores already for this week. Yesterday, in that freezing cold evening, Bay and Rutherford were on the pitch. That's girls soccer. Bay won that one 8-0. Arnold High School, behind the stellar goaltender work of Emma Krelling, won their game 3-1 over North Bay Haven. They now improved to 2-0-1 on the season. North Bay Haven drops to 1-2. Bay also played Rutherford in boys soccer. Bay won that one 4-0. Godby and Bozeman in boys soccer. Godby won that one 8-0. Pensacola Catholic beat Mosley 2-0 in girls soccer. So Mosley's now 2-1 on the season. Pensacola Catholic, kind of a soccer girls powerhouse. They are 2-0 on the season. All right, but let's bring in our guests for today. Got Mary Gauden and Brandy Cox. They're going to talk about a big tournament they got coming up this Friday. First off, what led to the creation of this event? And can you talk about the event coming up and all the things? Because this is, like I said earlier, this is a golf tournament where if you get a hole-in-one, you're going to be going home with a pretty sweet prize. So whoever wants to take it. What kind of led to the creation of this tournament? And how did it come to be? Obviously, I understand that it kind of pairs with Veterans Day and Veterans Day week. So great tournament coming up. And then obviously, who does it benefit as well? Go ahead, Mary.
Well, I will let Brandy speak to the reason for the tournament because I believe it has to do with family ties. You have
Yes.
veterans in the family.
We do.
So it was very close and near and dear to their heart to do something along those lines. So Brandy can
Awesome.
speak to that. But in terms of the event, it benefits For the Fallen, which is a nonprofit that provides it provides service animals. It provides emotional support animals. It provides all the needs for those that have been wounded.
Yep.
For amputees, it provides all of the different items to get them back up and living a regular life. And part of the thing, they also have the athletics involved too to get them in.
Awesome.
So it's a huge program. It does a lot for veterans. And it also not only veterans, but they do cover now first responders even
Sweet.
too. So they've expanded the organization. And from what I've learned about the organization is since their inception, they've done like $800,000 worth
awesome.
of donations to these first responders, these veterans.
Is
It's
it
amazing.
regional to this area, or is this a national organization?
It's national.
It's
that has,
national.
like, chapters
yeah,
throughout the-
chapters.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Brandy, what led to the creation of this event?
Like she said, family. Both my mother and Free's father both served in the military for our country, and we've just always wanted to make sure we could support them any way that we can. We also, being part of the golf course there, see a lot of veterans that come in and play, and it's just amazing to watch how they've gone out, served our country, and then come back home and had to adjust their lives based on different injuries that they've had,
Yep.
and that's why this specific charity really helps those people who have come home with lost limbs or things they had to readjust their entire life. So with it being Veterans Day, we're having the golf tournament on Friday the 14th. We're really excited about the opportunity, one, to put on the best golf tournament Panama City Beach has ever seen, because Free likes to go all out for these events, and to give back as much as we can to this amazing charity.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Still spots to sign up?
Yes, sir. There's still some spots to sign up. We have, like you said, some of the amazing prizes. Hole-in-one for a Ford Bronco, a jet
Right?
ski,
A Bronco. You're going to win a Bronco. Yeah.
a golf cart, or a ski boat. And some of those were donated by like Panama City Cycles. A lot of our local, places here, the sponsors have been just incredible how they've reached out and gotten involved with the tournament. Royal American Hospitality, Veterans United Home Loans, TES, No Name Bar, of course you mentioned Firefly and American Charlie's, really stepping up and helping the community and coming together for this event.
Right,
So-
because you can't really have a awesome golf tournament without sponsors. So.
You have to. Yeah. I think we're up to like
25.
25 sponsors
That's
for
awesome.
this tournament. So it's amazing. And we've got a lot of teams. We're just trying to get that last little push to
Yeah.
fill the last couple spots that we
Absolutely.
have that way, because all of the proceeds are going to For the Fallen. So that's why we're really trying to just get it across that finish
Yeah.
line.
And if somebody wants to sign up, where do they go to sign up?
They can go to our
our
website.
website. So it's neonsbar72.com.
Perfect.
Right to the restaurant's website.
And
Yep.
what do people get? Talk a little bit about what they should expect while they're out there playing in the golf tournament. I know you mentioned these unbelievable hole-in-one prizes, but there's some other stuff going on out
There
there too, right?
is a ton of different prizes at a lot of there's like putting contests, there's long drives, you've got first place, second place teams, last place teams get
the putt
get
and
it, the punt and get. I mean, yeah, the closest to the pin, there's I think 5 different options for that for winning. There's the floating greens, scratch card games. I mean, so basically like every hole you're going to be doing something.
Yeah, you have a lot of opportunities to go
You
home with something.
know, yeah, if
And
you
y'all got a pretty
don't,
cool swag bag too for all
yeah,
the
the
participants.
swag bag is
I saw those
great.
hats online. Those are sweet.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hats. And then, I mean, with Crown Royal and Tito's donating as well, like every hole is going to have amazing food and drinks to
Drinks, yeah.
be provided to all of our guests that are playing in the
And don't
tournament.
let the weather today fool you. Looks like Friday's going to be an absolutely spectacular day.
Spectacular.
So,
Great
you know,
weather for it. Yes.
what time does the event start?
Registration starts at 8 o'clock. So it's a whole day event, obviously, if you've got to go after the tournament, but it is from 8 to 8. So we're starting at 8
Nice.
with like breakfast. They got some contests before. Tee off is 10. Shotguns start at 10 o'clock. And then afterwards, it's awards, dinners, and music. So
We have
We-
live music with Mitch Pearson and Alex Napier,
Nice.
as well as Stevie Mons will be playing as well. So
yeah,
Sweet.
so be a full fun day.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and if you get your business to sponsor it or whatever, you're taking off a Friday, but you're also supporting a great cause. So,
Exactly.
again, a few spots left in this amazing tournament. Head over to neonsbar72.com to sign up. I'm sure you can find it on Facebook as
Yep.
well. So again, Mary, I just wanted to ask you kind of a specific question. You've done a lot of work for local nonprofits over the years. What kind of got you into doing all that? I know you do a lot of stuff for animals too.
Yeah, God, I think I probably got suckered into it. No, it's just kind of been what originally started was my mother passed away many, many years ago from cancer. And that got me into volunteering with American Cancer Society.
Gotcha.
And so it just kind of, snowballed. And I did that for many years with the American Cancer Society and did several of their large events as well. And then, I've always, I honestly, I kind of like animals more than people.
Probably not an uncommon sentiment.
And so that also kind of became, that was near and dear to my heart, and that got me involved with working with animals. And so, yeah, it's been a lot of different ones throughout the years that I've had involvement in, but I would say definitely, especially with, like American Cancer Society, they don't have the office anymore. And a few years back, they went through a lot of restructuring, and it just, the events basically kind of fell away. But, so just getting passionate really with the animals and,
I like
just
that.
saving all them. If
I
I
like
could
that.
do like a big old
Animals.
farm, I probably would, but yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. Brandy, if you could give one reason why somebody needs to sign up and play in this tournament, what would that be?
well, giving back to the community. I mean, it's going to be a day of fun and adventure, but really giving back to your community and the veterans who, like you said in the beginning, is the reason why we're even able to be here today enjoying
Absolutely.
this day. And Free and I have always been very vested in giving back to our community with the Alzheimer's Association is what got us started, with my grandparents. And we just really like to have a lot of opportunity to give back and to really have fun doing it, with the different events that we've done over
Absolutely.
the years. So
Absolutely. I mean, and that's the cool thing about when you do golf tournaments and big events that are for a good cause is they're a heck of a lot of fun as well.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's certainly a win-win. Everybody gets to come out, have a blast, and raise money for a great organization. So good stuff. That's
right.
cool for
And
sure.
the Bay Point Golf Club, of course, is an amazing course. I mean, they've won Best of Bay 6 years in a row. So it's a good
For
opportunity
many,
to play golf.
for
and
many
sports.
years.
Good track.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
for certain.
Yeah.
All right, Mary, I'm going to ask the hard-hitting questions now.
Okay.
I see you got your Lambo sweatshirt on.
Can we not talk about yesterday, please?
I wasn't going to ask about yesterday,
All right.
absolutely, but you had an opportunity there at the end to tie it, but a 64-yard field goal at outdoors is a tough one, that's for sure. Obviously, you're a huge Packer fan. I don't think I've ever asked you how did you become a Packer fan? I may have asked you this before. I don't know.
I think a lot of it is just where you grow up.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it gets kind of ingrained in you. So, a lot of it I do equate to my brother. My brother has he played football, not professionally or anything, but he played football, and I used to play football with him because I grew up on a farm, and we used to play football together. And so it just got to be where, football kind of became part of my life.
Yep.
Even though he's a Dallas Cowboys fan, and I don't know where that came from, he has been his whole life,
That's
but
tough.
I've supported him in that too and went to their games.
Good for
but,
you.
But yeah, so it's just one of those, I think just being raised in
Yeah,
that environment,
Which is
and
very common,
and-
but the Packers Nation is a pretty large one
it
as
is,
well.
but it's so, Lambeau Field is amazing. I mean, to go there and to experience
Yeah,
the
I would love-
games,
love to
and
see
it's
a game
just
there.
it's just the feel and the environment and the fans and everything. And I'm sure everybody can, say that about their team, but
I think the
you know,
Packers
it's-
fans just a little bit different.
it
when it comes
is.
to
It's
that
a little
home
bit
game there at
different
Lambeau.
feel. So I still, some of my closest friends, they still live in Green Bay. So when I go to visit, I always try to get to a game to go see them. But it's just one of those things, and it's a lot of fun.
doubt.
If we can just get rid of the cheese head hats, that is not my jam. It's impossible.
Impossible.
But
I mean,
they
that's
haven't made
symbolic
Packers
of
with
they
your-
do
That's
makeup
how
for
it
little
is.
dogs now. I know they were so cute. I almost got one for my puppy. But anyway, yeah, it's just part of life, I guess I would say. Is
Yep.
the
To be
easiest.
a
Yeah.
cheesehead, it's part of life.
It is. It's part of life. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, if you're a Packer fan, no doubt the Cheesehead is certainly synonymous with being a
Yes.
Packer fan.
Yeah.
Obviously, Wisconsin known for their cheese, so it kind of goes hand in hand there. Obviously, excluding yesterday's game, what do you think of the season so far for the Packers? A lot of high hopes to start this season.
I
for
did
sure.
have high hopes. They seem to be doing really well. They're third right now in their division, which isn't the worst, but I don't know right now. I had high hopes, but now
kinda
I'm
been
kind
a-
of yeah,
kind of been an
exactly.
up and down,
I'm
the
like,
feast or famine kind of season.
I don't know what's gonna quite happen. I think I think Jordan's still. I don't think he's quite found his groove yet.
I would agree with that. for
He
sure.
just hasn't quite found where he's going to be and gotten almost settled in a sense.
Yep.
So
His consistency is just not there yet.
exactly.
And
Exactly.
obviously, your quarterback's consistency bleeds all the way through the whole team.
All the
so
way
You can kind
through.
of see that in the season so far.
Yep.
But the NFC North's gotten, I want to say, a little bit more competitive. Obviously, the Lions have kind of flipped the script from being, one of the worst teams in the NFL
one of the best.
to one of the best year in and year out. And Chicago seems to be on the up and up
Yep.
a little bit as
Yep.
well.
And I think we got Chicago this Sunday, I believe, is who we're playing. Actually,
Back-to-back divisional game.
Yep. I think Chicago is Sunday. Yeah. So it'll be interesting.
Brandy, do you have an NFL team?
I do the Patriots.
Okay. The Patriots are on the up and up big time. Like,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
everybody who's not a Patriot fan is like, they had it for so good for so long, and it really was only like 5 or 6 years that you guys were down. Now all of a sudden with Drake May being there, it's like you got this huge resurgence in their defense. I mean, I think Vrabel being the head coach is a huge thing for you guys. But yeah, Drake May's playing some of the best quarterback right now, and it's only his second year in the league. I don't think he'll catch up to your former guy that was so good, but certainly a good replacement for right now. If you could tell people one more thing about, obviously I asked you why to sign up for the tournament, but if there's one more thing you guys want to promote for this tournament coming up on Friday, go ahead.
I think it's just a tournament like no other. We are.
I would agree with that,
We
looking
try
at
to
the
bring
flyer.
new, innovative ideas to Panama City Beach, which we've done through both of our restaurants. And this golf tournament is going to be like that. It's going to be new, innovative ideas. There's a putting green out in the middle of the lake or whatever pond, so you can like putt right into a little hole that's out in the middle of the water. So we're just trying to come up with new, crazy ideas of how to make something so fun and still give back to our community.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's kind of the nature of the game is different, exciting, fun, and the more you can bleed that through everything, the better it is.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, it's fun. It's going to be great weather. It's, get out there,
Not nicer
nice
than
day.
today, that's for
But I
sure.
mean, not only that, I mean, like, not to like toot anybody's horn, but the staff is pretty amazing and they do a lot to
do.
make the tournaments fun and take care of everybody out there. So, I mean,
We're going to end in
Yeah.
the Barn Event Center. That'll be
exactly
exciting
going to
see.
be in there.
So-
So, I mean,
Awesome.
like, it's, it's just sign up, go play, have a good time. We promise you're going to have a good time.
And with that being said, remind everybody again one more time how they can sign up for the event. And can they sign up as an individual as
Yes.
well? Okay, cool.
You can do individual or a team. Neon's Bar 72. It's on our Facebook page. I think it's even on Eventbrite. So there's a lot of different spots out there. I mean, you could probably just even Google it and it'll come up for
Sure,
you.
yeah.
But
Or they can
Neon's
probably
Bar
call.
72.
They can
Or
probably
call.
call the golf course itself too, and they can get them
There
the
you go.
information. Yep.
Absolutely. Sign up for the tournament. You got a few days left. Like they said, it's going to be a beautiful Friday. Don't let today fool you. This is going to come in and go right out. I'm sure the pattern, though, we'll have these dips throughout the wintertime, but all the more reason to get out and play in a tournament this Friday. And again, support your veterans, support the people that have made sacrifices so we can go out there and play golf on a beautiful day and have a ton of fun. Because without those sacrifices, we really don't know where we would be. Ladies, thank you so much. We're going to go ahead and get Keith Fleming on the line, my DFS expert. Anything else you want to talk about the tournament?
Just thank you to all of our sponsors
Yeah,
that have
absolutely.
participated and donated. We certainly with Royal American, I believe our top 3, Royal American, Panama City Cycles, and Veterans United, if I'm correct on that, huge sponsors. Thank you for making this happen.
And the staff and the golf course, Bay
Yeah.
Point Golf Course, and Mr. John Warren for always being so accommodating to all these crazy ideas that we have.
Crazy ideas are the most fun ideas. That's for sure. That is for sure. Well, ladies, I appreciate it very much. If you want to hang around and listen to Keith, you're more than welcome to. If you don't want to, that's fine too.
Well, thank you very much for this opportunity.
thank
We
you,
appreciate
Thank
it.
y'all. No, absolutely. Anytime. And I'm glad you wore your another fun thing, Mary. We have what was that called? Is it Dirty Santa or whatever it was? And you got me out of the hat. and-
Yes.
And you
that's
got me
right. Where is that T-shirt?
I still have it it's with all my I keep all my coaching jerseys from over the years and
Yes.
it's tucked in with those. I
It
think it
was-
said party like it's 1994 or whatever it
Yep,
said.
party like it's this last time 49ers won the Super Bowl.
Oh,
Yeah.
1994.
Yeah, 1994. Yep.
It's
It was a
more
great
recent than the
shirt.
Dallas Cowboys, so that's
That
good.
is true. That is true. Poor Cowboys, but
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
Well, you guys will get back there, and hopefully so will we at some point. But yeah,
Yes, absolutely. Well, thank y'all so much and good luck with the event. I'm
Yeah.
sure it's going to be awesome.
Absolutely. Thank you
Perfect.
so much.
Thank you,
Appreciate your
Ryan.
time.
Y'all too. Be careful out there. And a little chilly, so hopefully it's getting warmer as we speak. I'm
Yeah.
sure it is. I'm going to talk a little bit before we get Keith on the line about some of the local stuff coming up this week. More along the lines of the football playoff games we got coming up. Like we talked about, it's only going to get warmer and better. We've got some huge ones coming up. Obviously, the first one that kicks our playoff season off is going to be Mosley hosting Lincoln. That's at Tommy Oliver Stadium. That'll be 7 p.m. on Thursday night. Mosley looking to have a good run in the playoffs this year. Obviously, a fantastic season, 9-1. They're going up against 6-4 Lincoln. And then Friday night, you got multiple playoff games, some here in Bay County, some on the road in St. Augustine. We'll start with that Arnold St. Augustine game. Arnold's going up against a buzzsaw. St. Augustine, one of the top football teams in not just the state of Florida, but also the entire country. When we had Coach Griff on, he talked about the importance of strength of schedule when it comes to your regular season, and that's kind of what propelled Arnold into the playoffs was simply that strength of schedule. But also, one of the things we've talked about before is when you're playing really, really, really good football teams, there's probably going to be a lot of eyes on that football team. So if one of your players can, keep up running with one of their superstars or make a huge tackle or a huge catch or a huge play, they might get seen where they hadn't been seen before. So obviously it's a tough challenge for the Arnold Marlins going on the road against one of the best teams in the state, but it's also a cool opportunity as well for the players on the Arnold Marlins football team to, do something pretty spectacular and maybe get seen by a college coach that hasn't seen them yet and says, wait, who's that? I need to, learn a little bit more about that guy. Bozeman also is a pretty big task on their hands. They made their playoffs as well, but they are traveling just down the road to the west to Pensacola Catholic, another powerhouse in our area. Pensacola Catholic 9-1 on the season. Bozeman trying to have the upset and continue their playoff run throughout the fall. So good luck to Bozeman. Good luck to Arnold. And of course, Bay, who had one of the best seasons in Bay County. Looking forward to watching them play as well. They host 4-6 Godby. Bay's 9-1 of the season. That'll be so we got 2 home games for playoffs back to back. You got Mosley on Thursday night and then Bay on Friday night. So what an opportunity to go watch some awesome football right here in Bay County. Again, those playoff games are coming up. They're going to be big, big games. Hopefully, if not all, a few of those teams can get the win so we can watch them continue on in the playoffs. But what great seasons by so many football teams right here in Bay County. One of those things that we always try to do is get some teams down there to the state championship, the Final Four, the state championship, whatever it may be. And what an opportunity we have this fall for a few of these teams to make some runs and see some stuff happen. Tonight we got a couple soccer games coming up. Both of the teams that played against each other last Friday. I had the pleasure of going out and watching that Arnold North Bay Haven game. Arnold ended up winning that one 2-1 on 2 first-half goals, and then the boys just gave it all they could. They have a lot of injuries. I believe they had a couple injuries in that game as well. Kudos to North Bay Haven for fighting that whole game as well. Final score in that one was 2-1. Both of those teams back in action this afternoon, this evening. Supposed to get up in the mid-50s tonight, so Gulf Breeze will be traveling over to Gavlac Stadium to take on the Marlins. Arnold trying to go 2-0 on the young season, trying to go for that third state championship in a row. Back to back would be absolutely fantastic. And then North Bay Haven, they're 1-1 on the season, trying to get back into the winning column. South Walton will be traveling over to North Bay Haven Academy. So 2 great opportunities. If you want to bundle up a little bit and go see some great soccer, 2 great programs with Arnold and North Bay Haven. Again, Gulf Breeze and Arnold, that's at 7 p.m. at Gavlac. South Walton at North Bay Haven Academy. That's also at 7 p.m. at the stadium where the Bucks play their soccer games, right there below the hill, I guess you could say. We played a few soccer games over there as well. Should have Keith Fleming coming up here in just a moment. While we're waiting for Keith, I'm going to talk about some of the scores from this past weekend. We had a few upsets and a few really close games, both in football and NFL. NFL, I felt like we had some more upsets again. The season's kind of been wild. Nobody's pulling away quite yet. Back in Week 11, USC got the week started off with a 38-17 victory over Northwestern. My poor Auburn Tigers with another loss in overtime to Vandy this time, 45-38. Did see some positive things, though, with DJ Durkin kind of leading the charge for the Tigers, interim head coach until we figure out something. I did hear that Kenny Dillingham out of Arizona State is met with Auburn yesterday, or maybe it's today that he's meeting with the Auburn Tigers. So he is currently, I believe, the front runner to take over for Hugh Freeze's departure from Auburn football. Ohio State handled Purdue 34-10. The game of the weekend was certainly Indiana and Penn State. Indiana, Curtis Rourke with that walk-off touchdown pass. Unbelievable catch. Guy sticks his 1 foot in the end zone. Official did a great job right there to see the play. Indiana stays undefeated, 27-24. We do have some breaking news after the transfer, or after the chance last night to fire Nico Harrison. The Dallas Mavs have officially fired general manager Nico Harrison. That is some breaking news. Thank you, Everett, for shooting that over to me. Let's see where the Mavs go from there. Obviously, last year kind of set the tone for Nico after trading Luka Doncic and then getting AD, who really hasn't been healthy yet this year at all, to help the Mavs out. So Nico is officially gone from the Dallas Mavericks. Let's see. I think he should be ready here in just a second. We may just take a quick break if that is I think we can do that. So we'll take a quick break. I'll get Keith Fleming on the line. When we get back, we'll be joined by Keith Fleming. And welcome back. I guess I didn't realize we can take breaks, so we took a quick break there. Obviously, breaking news is the GM for the Dallas Mavs, Nico Harrison, whose team was 3-8, has just officially been fired. Probably too much of the excitement of the Dallas Mavericks fandom. ESPN and Bleacher Report were reporting this morning that it was just a matter of time, not if, but when he got fired. And obviously the when was, right in the middle of today. Also, the Mavs governor was realizing Nico shouldn't be making long-term decisions. I think we realized that last year when he traded one of the best players in the league to one of the most historic franchises in the league. The ceaseless negativity around Nico has gotten the Mavs brass. Didn't help when Luka dropped 38, 7, and 6 last night when the Mavs fans, like I said, were chanting, "Fire Nico." But here we are now. The Mavs don't have a GM anymore, and I believe he's still going to get paid for a little bit longer. So it's not just your college football coaches that continue to make money after they are long gone. Just a couple other quick stories. Keith is about to be on the line. Giants owner GM Joe Schroen reportedly won't talk to the media after he has fired Brian Daboll. Brian Daboll had said some things, I believe it was on Twitter, basically saying that he will be back, doesn't know where, but he's going to get his revenge on possibly the Giants in the future. Don't really know what that means, but he has now been fired after a 2-8 start on the season. The worst part, I believe, Jackson Dart is in concussion protocol, so who knows if he'll even be starting in this week coming up. That's an interesting little story last night. That game last night, we were talking to Mary about it briefly, was just kind of an ugly game. I believe it was a 10-7 win for the Philadelphia Eagles. Certainly a very big-time defensive battle, and then a really badly missed kick. Again, 64-yarders aren't really that easy, but that would have been the game-tying kick, and it was pulled so far to the left, didn't even have a chance to go in. Packers had an opportunity to take the lead in the division and just kind of blew it away to those Philadelphia Eagles. And the Packers offense was certainly roasted by the Packers fans, and Matt LaFleur and Jordan Love just couldn't really get things going. Love struggled throughout the game, only throwing for 176 yards on 20 of 36 completions while taking 3 sacks. Josh Jacobs scored the lone Packers touchdown on the ground. Hurts with the Eagles, not too much of a better day, only 183 yards passing and 1 touchdown, but his completion percentage was a lot better at 15 of 26, and he had the lone touchdown of the game, connecting with Devonta Smith to score on a 60-yard pass. So Eagles, they've been kind of criticized throughout the season that, A.J. Brown and, throwing the ball for Jalen Hurts has kind of been their downfall, but they're also obviously got a great record and leading their division by several games. So you can't be too critical when it comes to that kind of stuff. All right, Keith is good to go. We're going to go ahead and get him on the line. Hopefully my phone works this week. Let me put my headset on first. All right, we're going to go ahead and give Keith a call, make sure I can hear him, make sure he can hear me.
It's Keith.
Hey, Keith, it's Ryan. Can you hear me?
Yeah, buddy.
Awesome. Sounds good. Sounds like our hardwire is working, Everett. How are you doing today?
Oh, I can't complain other than I'm a Falcons fan.
What did you always say? Falcons gonna Falcons?
They definitely did that on Sunday morning, unfortunately. It's good to see, though, that the Falcons, just overall franchise normalcy is the same in Europe as it is in America.
Doesn't change across the pond, as Jay Henley always used to say.
Absolutely.
We got some stats and exciting stuff from another great week in the NFL. Some upsets, some ugly games, some blowouts, including my best bet of the week was to make sure you bet the Rams to cover, because you knew if they couldn't get pressured on your Georgia boy Matt Stafford, he was going to pick them apart, and that's certainly exactly what happened. But 6-4 and falling a little bit further behind in the division, but like you said, at least we're not the Falcons or some of these other teams that have kind of struggled year over year.
And it's so funny that you bring up, Stafford, because, and especially the pressure part, because it's actually the opposite, at least thus far this season. I don't know why teams are blitzing Matthew Stafford at this point. After just 9 games, he's already thrown more touchdown passes against the blitz than all but 2 quarterbacks for an entire season in the last decade. His 20 touchdown passes are nearly double the second highest rate in 2025, which is kind of surprisingly Jalen Hurts. Stafford has thrown multiple touchdown passes now in 7 of his last 8 games, 3 or more touchdown passes in 5 of his last 6, and 4 more touchdowns in his last 3. If you just look at his touchdown to interception ratio over his last 6 games, it's 20 touchdowns to 0 interceptions. It is unbelievable what Matthew Stafford is doing. And I don't know if you saw the stat, Ryan. For the first time in his career, he does not have a losing record as a quarterback. He is the latest in their career quarterback to accomplish that. Like no other quarterbacks took that long to get to where he is 115 and 115 with 1 tie. And I think that just again is more evidence to something we've talked about all this season, that it's not the quarterback's fault. Like if you're in a crappy franchise, you're gonna lose.
Detroit.
And the minute, yeah,
Yeah.
and the minute Stafford got out of Detroit, look at the success he had. Obviously, the incredible run when they won the Super Bowl. I'll always think of that Tom Brady huge comeback in the NFC title game against Stafford at home, and Stafford went right down the field in less than a minute to kick the game-winning field goal. It's I'm very happy for him, man. Stafford's just a great quarterback. He's 37. All the questions coming into the season were, was he even going to play, right? Because of his bad back.
Yep,
And
no, for sure. And now he's
I
lighting
think
up
he's
the league.
the MVP. Yeah, I think he's the MVP. If it's not him, no surprise, it would be Jonathan Taylor, who again, for the 4th time this season, had 3 touchdowns. It's just getting to the point where it's absurd what he's doing. His 40.5 fantasy points would be the most by any running back in any game this season. Heading into it until he scored the 49.6 this week. He has
Insanity.
been the cheat code, man. And one of my most proud moments of this fantasy season was I actually played Jonathan Taylor in a league and came back and won by 2 points, 117 to 115. Thank you, Trey McBride. Thank you, George Kittle. And thank you, Tight End Premium, where you actually get an extra half point for every reception than you do as a wide receiver. There's another running back that had an incredible week, and I think we need to give him his flowers, and that's Devon Achane. He has just been great, and he was the reason the Bills were shocked on Sunday in Miami. He had 174 rushing yards, the second most he's accumulated in a game since week 3 of, remember, his original breakout season. And actually, that
Yep.
was the first week that he kind of burst on the scene. He has a higher target share than Jalen Waddle over the past 4 games, 23.5% to 21%. And that is, we wondered what was going to be Miami's offense once Tyreek Hill was done for the season. Who was going to take over the most pass attempts from Tua? And to my surprise, it's been Achane. Again, Waddle's been really good too. Don't get me wrong. And a 21% target share is nothing to, scoff at. But again, a running back getting
Yeah, if you're talking about fantasy
23.5%,
implications, I mean, he's just been killing it with the target share and the receptions.
it's huge. And then the last one stat I have is for the second week in a row, the Seahawks put the game away almost immediately. I actually was
They
not
were up
paying attention to this.
38-7 in a heartbeat.
Dude, it was 28-0, I think, literally in the first quarter.
Yep.
And they ran the ball so much. It was the least passing plays in a game this season. I think it was the least passing plays actually in a couple of years. And we've had some bad weather games, obviously, in that
Mhm.
situation. But you still saw JSN was able to be JSN. He now owns 2 of the 3 highest single game target shares of the season. His 56.5%. That was week 1. And then 50% this week. And it's just, at this point, I feel like that those two teams we just talked about, the Rams and the Seahawks, man, like it's hard to argue they're not the best two teams in the NFL.
It's going to be wild to see who ends up winning that division because I know it's not going to be the Niners, and I definitely know it's not going to be the Cardinals. But you got two powerhouses in the NFC West right now, just balling out on offense. And they also have great defenses too. I mean, the Rams, I think, have the number one defense in the league. So that's kind of a scary thought, as they go forward. All those FSU guys that were dominating for FSU, it seemed to all like the Eagles are all Georgia, and it seems like the Rams are all FSU when they defense was good anyway. Just
Absolutely.
real quick on Hard Rock Bets, your MVP favorite right now, both 3-1, Drake May and Matt Stafford, and then Jonathan Taylor coming at plus 525. Tough for running backs to win that MVP.
It's a sucker bet.
Yeah, because it's typically a quarterback award. I mean, last running back I believe was Adrian Peterson when he rushed for over 2,000 yards. They pretty much had to give that to him that year. But Drake May and Matt Stafford, two guys you've been talking about all year, Keith.
Yeah. The Drake May thing again just makes me sick. It's not fair that New England once again has I think the guy.
What,
at
6 years
QB,
removed from their dominancy when Brady left?
Correct. They had 6 bad years, and I guess technically last year you saw the flashes with May, so they knew it was going to get better. But people want to dismiss it because of who they've played. It's a fair point, but I don't hear those same comments about Indy, who has had just as weak, if not a weaker schedule. And New England, they beat Buffalo, they beat Tampa, and it's just the way they're doing it. They have a defense that you cannot run on, which we know how big that is in the playoffs. And then you have a quarterback who, again, is just out of this world. And he has not really used his legs. I think that's coming. That's something they're saving for the playoffs.
At some point, yeah.
Yep. And if New England gets home field, man, look out.
I would be very, very not wanting to travel, to New England, especially, with the weather that they get up there in the playoff time, or right now, however you want to look at it. How's your temp up there in Atlanta, Keith?
It's cold, man. I do not like it. It's 33 degrees.
Even down here, we got into the low 30s this morning. Some places probably the upper 20s. So for us, that's obviously I know we got snow last year, but that's some pretty crazy stuff. All right, have you had time to get your first look at your early DFS lineup for week 11, right?
Yeah, got a handful of guys. Jackson Dart, 5,600. We have to see.
Yeah, if he comes out of protocol, right?
Right. Yep, because if not, I'm going to be disappointed because this will be a month straight of me playing Jackson Dart in every single cash game. His price continues to not go up. He only played basically 3 quarters on Sunday, still racked up 27.3 points on DK. That's the second most of his 7 starts. And I keep screaming this from the mountaintops. He is the best value in fantasy. He scored 18.6 points or more, all 7 start, averaging 23.6 points per game as a starter. And then the most impressive thing and why he's just so steady and at this price, I'm going to just keep playing him until his price goes up a good bit. He is averaging 10.2 points per game just as a rusher, having scored 7.1 points or more in all 7 starts. Again, just with his legs.
I think I saw a stat. I don't know exactly what it was. I'm not going to be able to elaborate on it. He's got as many rushing touchdowns, or he's got more rushing touchdowns than like Saquon Barkley and all these other big time running backs because he's scoring so many. But this is his second time in the concussion protocol, right? The first time is when Daboll and the team got in trouble for really not doing what they were supposed to be doing. But Daboll's gone now. What do you think about the Giants firing or the GM firing Ryan Bryant?
I understand firing him. It's not good though for Jackson Dart unless they're planning on shutting him down because Daboll is a great play caller. But I understand why they did it. I think that it was a situation where you had to be a concern with the coach fighting for his life, right? Like it's, a head coach in the NFL and a young quarterback that he was running all the time.
Putting him in
it's been
jeopardy.
my one concern. Yep, it's been my because what does he care, right? I hate this.
Yeah, but I
act
know
like
what
he's
you
a
mean.
bad
He's about to be
person.
fired. He's
Yeah.
like, I'm just gonna, do what I think we need to do
I
every
got to
play
do
to
what I got
win.
to do to win. Yep, exactly. So the other guy this week is Joe Flacco, 5,500 at Pittsburgh. Flacco, man, goodness gracious. Over his last 3 games, 30 points per game on DK, 9 passing touchdowns. He scored 29 points against the same Steelers defense week 7. In that game, he scored 29 points on DK, throwing for 340 and 3 scores. I do also want to mention Aaron Rodgers at 5,400. Pittsburgh's offense is struggling, but playing the Bengals is a remedy that you need. They've allowed opponents to score 111 points over their last 3 games, including 31 to the Steelers week 7. Rodgers in that game scored 24.6 points on DK, second most this season, throwing for 249 yards, his most passing yards this season, and 4 touchdowns, his most touchdowns. So it's good to play the Bengals. The running back position,
Poor Bengals
Rico Dottle,
fans.
68. They're awful. Rico Dottle,
Not
6,800.
the fans, the team.
Yeah, exactly. Atlanta's defense is awful. I think Jonathan Taylor may have just scored another rushing touchdown over Germany against us. Games Dottle has seen 80+% of the rush attempts for Carolina, including the last 2, which were the first games that both him and Hubbard played. He's averaging 29.6 points per games on DK, so I love that. Aaron Jones, 5,500 is interesting. He's receiving 69% of the backfield carries this last week, the only one inside the 5. His 14.3 target share is why I love him on DK. Remember, it's point per reception. He's hit at least 12% target share in all 3 games he started and finished this year. Wide receiver, my boy Drake London, 7,400 versus Carolina. Since week
So
4,
consistent.
5 games, 58 targets, 39 receptions, 104 receiving yards. He's cleared 100 yards and 104 plus receiving yards in 4 or 5 games. He's finished as a top 5 wide receiver in fantasy 4 or 5. He's finished as wide receiver 1 3 of those 5 games, and he's averaging 28.24 points per game. If you play Flacco, you want to play T. Higgins with him. He is 6K at Pittsburgh, 5+ receptions in 3 or 4 games with Flacco, 4 touchdowns in the 4 games, and he scored 21.6 points in their first matchup. And then I haven't done a complete deep dive on the other tight ends because it's a good chance this week I play 2 tight ends, and it's because of that man, Trey McBride, 6,300 versus your Niners. He is just a juggernaut with Brissett at quarterback. Over the 4 games with Brissett, 46 targets, 9+ in each game. That's 52% of his targets this season. 32 receptions. That's 52% of his receptions this season. 328 yards. That's 54% of his total this season. And 5 touchdowns, which is 83%. He had 1 touchdown basically heading in to these last 4 with Brissett as Murray as starter, and he's averaging 23.7 points per game. And then the defense, Denver's 2,600. To me, that's the best value. You know, I like to go down and
that's
just take a cheap defense, and they're elite defense. But that's
they
kind
are.
of the first look this week at DraftKings Week 11.
Yeah, absolutely. You think we got a QB controversy in Arizona? Kind of going forward.
I mean, they've already announced that Murray is, even if he came off IR,
He's
Kobe
still
Brissett's
the
starter
starter.
rest of the year. So
Or they got like 325 million in Murray, something like that. I mean,
It's
obviously you've
outrageous,
seen
yes.
other teams do that, like Russell Wilson in Denver, being all that money they had to eat at the cap. I think they're still probably eating it if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, some big games this past week, some big upsets. I'm in a loser pool, and I know a lot more people got eliminated who picked the Dolphins against the Bills. That was probably the most shocking one of the week for me coming up. Keith, Rams, your favorite for the Super Bowl right now? Is there another team in the NFC that you would put ahead of them?
No, I think that's the team. Seattle's right there too.
Yeah.
And obviously there'll be other teams that get involved. But Ryan, I'm sorry, I gotta let you go. I got a call coming in, and I need to take this.
No,
I'm so
you're
sorry
fine.
about
You're
that,
fine. I'm gonna talk about the Cleveland Guardians. More betting scandals rocking professional sports. I appreciate you jumping on, Keith. We'll talk to
Okay,
you soon.
buddy. Thanks, man. Yep.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, we're going to finish episode 24 with another MLB scandal. This time it rocks the Cleveland Guardians. Guardians pitchers Emmanuel Cleese and Luis Ortiz have been federally indicted for allegedly rigging bets on their own MLB games. According to the indictment, Cleese and Ortiz were paid $5,000 for throwing intentional balls. Cleese reportedly facilitated the bets and took payouts himself, allegedly doing again for $7,000 each. These guys make hundreds of millions of dollars every year, and they're doing stuff that could jeopardize their entire career for $5,000 and $7,000. Messages between Cleese and a better even show. If I'm pronouncing his name wrong, I'm sorry. Cleese replying with a sad puppy dog gif after a failed fix attempt. If convicted, they could face up to 65 years in prison for fraud, conspiracy, bribery, and money laundering. I still don't understand why all these professional athletes get involved with this kind of stuff when they're making so much money. Maybe it's not about the money. Maybe it's about the risk and the rush. I don't know. I'll never be at that position, so I guess I can't really relate to that. But we appreciate y'all tuning in to episode 24 of the Inside Drive podcast. One more shout out to Ziona Bell, who is our American Charlie's Athlete of the Week. And one more thankful sentiment to all of our veterans, past and present, for serving our beautiful country and allowing us to do what we do on a daily basis. Hopefully, go out to American Charlie's and enjoy some discounts and specials for all the veterans out there. We appreciate y'all tuning in. We'll have a fun one lined up for Thursday. I think I'll have Jay, Colby Pitts, and potentially Jay Chapman again. And I've got a bunch of fun what-if questions for those gentlemen. Should be a good one. Looking forward to seeing you guys on Thursday. Thanks for tuning in. Full episode will be posted tomorrow on Apple, Spotify, and all the places you consume your podcast. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Have a great rest of your day. Stay warm. We'll see you on Thursday.